Hello my viewers, if you're interested in buying a helmet like this, or maybe a life-size one, you can go over there and shop at greenguy.com. They have NCAA teams, they have NFL teams, they have all your favorite teams. They even have the teams that you don't like the Bengals, Browns, and Ravens. I don't know why anybody buy that, but they have that too if you want to buy it. So go over there and use my promo code PITSIN and go and shop some of your favorite football helmets now. Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. Today we're discussing, of course, some trade rumors. As you guys know, it's the bye week for the Steelers, and the Steelers do have some receiver issues going on right now. They have DK Metcalf who's playing at a high level, based off the last game. He scored a touchdown, even though he had a big yardage. He had 80 yards in week 1. He didn't have too many yards in week 2 or 3, but he did score a touchdown in week 2, week 3, and he had an 80-yard touchdown in week 4. Went out there and played crazy football on 127 receiving yards. Finally got himself mixed into the things, and they got him to the ball early. They got him the ball early. They let him get some touches early from the slot. They had him on the outside, and then they hit him on that little post route, and he took it to the house. And he scored the longest touchdown ever in international football play. So we have DK Metcalf playing a good level, but Calvin Austin, he had some moments, of course. He scored the game-winning touchdown against the Patriots, on the back shoulder fade. He also scored, actually that wasn't the back shoulder fade. The back shoulder fade was the Jets one, yeah. He scored a touchdown by just running past the guy on the Patriots, and then he had the one against the Jets, the back shoulder fade catch, the big catch with that. Had a touchdown as well in that game, had 70 yards in that game. And then, of course, the game against the Seahawks didn't play too good. And against the Vikings, he only caught one pass in that game and got injured, and his shoulders got knocked out. And then everybody else, Ben Skowronek, I like Ben Skowronek because he's one of those guys who just do everything for you like that. They call them the glue guys, to do everything. Ben Skowronek will go out there and block for you. He'll go out there. He caught a touchdown this season already. He got a fumble recovery as well like that. He'll go out there and play special teams. He'll do everything you want. He'll do all the little stuff that don't get put on the stat sheet, but he's a valuable player to have. But in terms of production as a receiver, we haven't really have a lot of receivers, of course, produced besides DK Metcalf and then Calvin Austin in a little short burst as well. So it'll be probably in Steelers' best interest to bring in a guy, of course. And we have a few guys on this list today, which I'm going to dive into today. Of course, the guy from the thumbnail you probably see is Chris Olave. Chris Olave, of course, we know with the Saints. You look at his numbers, you look at his stats, really. He had 1,000 yards in 2022, 4 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. 2023, 5 touchdowns. And then he had, of course, 400 yards 2024 because of the injuries. And then this year so far, 185 yards, 6 receiving receptions, and then 1 touchdown right now. Not the best numbers, of course, in the first few weeks, but we know Chris Olave has that speed. And I feel like as a guy next to DK Metcalf, it will actually help him out a lot. They help both of them out a lot, actually, because you're looking at DK Metcalf won't get double teamed as much, especially Chris Olave getting down there consistently, using his speed, using his playmaking ability to go out there and do it. Man, I don't know exactly what it's going to take to get Chris Olave either. Could it be, 3rd round pick? We have a lot of 3rd round picks actually this year. So it could be a 3rd round pick. Could it be a player, maybe? I know Alex Highsmith is a guy, name is circulating around for a lot. People think the Steelers should possibly trade him away. I don't think they'll do Alex Highsmith for Olave straight up or anything like that. I don't know if the Saints want defenders. I think the Saints just want picks so they can be able to build this team up. So that'd be interesting to see. But another thing too as well, Chris Olave, the only thing I'm concerned about him is the injuries. That's the only thing. Like the injuries, he's a lot of concussions, of course, early on in his career. A lot of injuries, of course, so far. He's a good player when he's healthy. So I think maybe him being the number 2 option with the Steelers will take a lot of pressure off him and maybe help his career too as well. You have Aaron Rodgers there with you, and whoever quarterback takes over next year, even if they are a young quarterback, they have all these weapons. They're gonna have Jonnu Smith and the DK Metcalf, and then if you have Chris Olave there, you have him, Calvin Austin. You have, of course, Donald Washington. I don't know if Moot's gonna be there still, but you have these guys, of course, on our team and stuff as well. And you have a nice little running back room with Kenneth Gainwell, Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson. Defense is real good, of course, as well. A lot of playmakers. So I feel like a young quarterback. I think Aaron Rodgers coming back next year for 1 more year. But I feel like a young quarterback, they do step into this offense and they step into this team. They actually have a lot of things around to build upon. So we'll see how things go. But Chris Olave is one of the main options, of course. Another option, of course, I've been seeing a lot is Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel, we know, he's a guy who's not he's like a receiver 2. He's like a tier level 2 receiver 2. He's not like the high class receiver 2, like putting up 1,000 yards or going out there putting up 900 plus yards like that. But he's a guy who could definitely give you some production. Of course, he can give you about 600, 700 yards and be utilized as like different gadget stuff as well, and just be utilized around the field. And we know he played so far with I think 1 game so far. I think he played last game. He had 1 catch for 9 yards with the Buffalo Bills. So yeah, that would be interesting. Maybe the Steelers look to bring him in. I keep seeing that name circulating around. That would be the highest person on my list, but that's the name I keep seeing circulating around. So for the Samuel, that'd be Let us see how things shape out. And with the Panthers, he was cool, and he was there with the Washington Commanders. He was cool and stuff as well. So we'll see how things go with him. Another person, of course, is Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers' numbers, you look at his numbers, every year they got better. You know, you look at rookie season, 300, second year, 700, third year, 800, then 800 again. Stay consistent. He had 1,000 yards last year, his best year of his career. 4 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, 11 yards per catch, 87 catches. And right now he got 21 catches, 258 yards. No touchdowns right now. And we know he had a lot of rumor news about him because he wanted more money and a bigger contract, of course, as well. So, and his asking price is not too crazy. The Steelers have $37 million in cap space. So they wanted to extend him for like next season, a 2-year deal worth like 35. I don't know exactly what it would be, because I think he asked for like 19 mil, 18, 19 mil, around that range. You can definitely do that. So 2 years, 36 mil or something like that, around that range. 2 years, 37, 38 mil to give him that extension, of course. And that'd be cool too as well. Like that, you're paying like 18, 19 mil a year like that, depending on what's going on, of course, and what exactly the numbers they do. But I think the Steelers could definitely bring him in. He'll be a nice receiver too. I think he's a tier 1 receiver too, because he could be consistent, getting you 800, 900 yards, 1,000 yards as well if you have to. Next to DK Metcalf, and you have Calvin Austin doing things as well. I think that'd be a nice little group to have, of course, as well. Jacoby Myers plays pretty good, and with the Raiders, you know, with different quarterbacks, he'll play good. Give him a guy like Aaron Rodgers, a guy to go to. Jacoby Myers is a pretty solid route runner as well. Good route runner. He pride himself in doing that. He can play in the slot as well. So that'd be pretty interesting to bring him in. I would like to bring him in, actually. That was the case. The Steelers could do that. So that's another guy on the list who I have as well. And then the last person I have on the list, of course, is one I haven't seen anybody talk about it too much, but I was thinking about it while I was watching some of their film. I've been watching a little bit of Calvin Ward stuff, and it's Calvin Ridley. I know Calvin Ridley have a drop problem, a little bit of drop problem, a little bit. But we know Calvin Ridley has put up 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons, Jaguars, the Titans, and then this year so far, not the best showing, because, you know, Titans haven't been playing too good. The morale is down, everything is down, of course, as well for them. But Calvin Ridley be interesting pickup, maybe, because, you know, the Titans will be looking for maybe a pick. You might get him 5th round pick, maybe a 5th or 6th round pick. I think you probably get Calvin Ridley, bring him in. I don't know exactly what his contract is. That's actually a good question. Let me pull his contract up. Calvin Ridley. Let me pull his contract. Yeah, but I think that'd be an interesting get, because he has the speed. We know he can get open and stuff. And I know he had the little catch issue going on so far, but I think that can be easily solved. I know he signed as a free agent with the Titans in 2024. His contract don't end until 2027. His cap hit, his base salary next year is $20 million, and then after that is $20 million. So it's not too crazy. I don't know what his cap hit would be though. The hit on the cap would be exactly, but it's not too crazy, of course, as well. I still have enough to cover that. But my biggest person would probably be my first option would be Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers, I feel like he's more consistent, and he'd be a fit in that receiver 2 like role. Be nice too as well. Chris Olave would be great, but the injuries don't think my concern with that. But Chris Olave, I think, is the best out of these options, of course. But I think Jacoby Myers will fit the best with the Steelers. What we're trying to do here. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how things go. If the Steelers do decide to do that. We know Russell Wilson is a name that's on the Steelers, of course, roster. But we haven't seen him do a lot. We see him did the onside kick. He made a play right there, of course. But we haven't seen Russell Wilson a lot throughout the season on the offensive side of the ball. So hopefully we get to see him maybe get more opportunities, or I know he's out there a few times, but he don't really do anything like this spectacular. I don't know if he's not getting open or they're not giving him a lot of chances at the right stuff. But we have to see how he kind of get mixed into the offense. But I think that's the only thing the Steelers kind of really missing right now. The O-line played better this last game because they played smarter. They started doing things, getting the ball out faster, and also pitting out a 6 O-lineman. You have a 6 O-lineman, then you have Darnell Washington, who calls himself the 6 O-lineman. So technically, you might have 7 O-linemen, because Darnell Washington about 310 pounds. You have 7 O-linemen out there technically blocking for you. They helped out a lot. That's the most 6 O-lineman snaps. Having snaps with 6 O-linemen out there, the Steelers had since 2020. So Steelers ran the ball effectively like that last week, 131 rushing yards by doing that and creating a force and a push up front. They got the ball to DK Metcalf early and gave him some plays. Donald Smith was coming to the game a little injured. I think once he gets back from the bye week and get healthy, he's going to be implementing the offense a lot more. We know the ability he has. Of course, we know the playmaking ability he has as a player on the outside or in the inside or different positions as well. So it's going to be nice to see how the Steelers kind of mix it up with the offense. But I think another receiver on the outside will open up so much more as well, you know, for our running game and for everything. Because you have a guy, because like they can double team DK Metcalf, but if you have a guy on the other side who can get open consistently, it opens up so much more. So now teams got to start looking back and say, okay, hold on now. we can't do the double team we want to do. We got to pick and choose because we know this guy right here can eat and go out there and play. Remember we had Juju Smith-Schuster and we had Antonio Brown on the team? It was a 1-2 punch. Antonio Brown, of course, was getting double teamed. He's still making plays getting double teamed. He was an amazing player. Now, off the field, I have no idea. But on the field, he was an amazing player, of course, going out there making big-time plays. And he had Juju Smith-Schuster on the other side. I remember 1 year, Antonio Brown led the team and led the league in touchdowns. And Juju had 1,500 receiving yards. We had both 1,000-yard receivers. It was just amazing like that. And even when Antonio Brown was Martavis Bryant, he had the same thing as well. So having a DK Metcalf, Kevin Austin is cool, but I don't know if he can be a top-tier receiver 2 type guy. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to subscribe for more content as well. And also, let me know down below who you think. We see a lot of different names being thrown around, a lot of suggestions being thrown around, of course. Christian Kirk was a name I had last year. Remember, he got traded to the Texans now. That's a name they said Steelers was about to trade for, and they said it was like in the works. Jaguars and Steelers was doing a deal, but remember he tore his, I think he had a broken collarbone or he tore something. He had still have an injury before the deal happened. The Steelers ended up trading for Mike Williams. So we'll see the Steelers make a move this year for a receiver, bring a guy in. Alan Lazard is another name, of course, people think because the Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard connection, that could possibly be something maybe. Lazard is cool, but I don't think he's a top tier receiver 2, but he'd add more depth to the receiver room that gives some more plays, of course. But I would prefer us to go out there and get a more higher end guy. Jacoby Myers, I feel like he can fit in that top tier receiver 2 type bracket and fill in for you and go out there and make a lot of plays for you and have some success with him. So we'll see how things go. But that's all I have for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.